Megan from Central Virginia. Well, one of my first tasks is to clean up this flower bed so I can plant additional garlic in it, because this is going to be my main garlic bed for the year. So these flowers were beautiful. They lasted all the way until the hard frost, which we had earlier this week. And now it's time for them to go. So I'm going to clean up this bed, then I'm going to prep it a little bit, and I'll be planting some garlic in it soon. First thing I'm just going to do is clear out all of the growth. Now these beds were pretty well prepped in the last fall, and then they were prepped again before I put in these flowers in late June. And I am just going to be putting down additional compost, and I'll be putting down some bone meal fertilizer, because that is one of the things that alliums like a lot. And this is going to be my garlic bed. This is all going to go into the compost. I'm excited to plant my garlic. One of my favorite things in the world is garlic. All right, so I've changed my mind about putting the flowers in the compost. I'm going to just throw them over the fence, and maybe some of those seeds will germinate, and I'll have random marigolds and cosmos and zinnias popping up along the fence line next year. You never know. And so I'm just going to gently start to rake off some of the mulch here. I'll be putting this back on. Just pull these to the side. I'll be planting the garlic in here maybe tomorrow. I don't have energy to do it today. I started to freak out because I couldn't find my bone meal. Then I remembered I put it in a can because the mice were starting to get into it. Mice like to eat antlers and bone. I'm not putting a ton on. I'm just sprinkling some in here. Again, this is a pretty rich bed, but I'm just enhancing it a little bit here and there. This will dissolve over time. This is going to be a very slow release. It'll take it a long time to break down. It's so dry. We really have had a dry fall, except for the Garlic Festival week when it rained, of course, because, you know, it has to on Garlic Festival time. At least a little. Compost here. Oh, that is not something I want in my garden. This, of course, will have a heavy mulch of hay on top of it. Garlic is, once you plant it, it's happy. And if you got a nice rich bed, you know, it's gonna do its thing. You just let it go. All right, it is the next day, and it's time to plant more garlic, because more garlic is always better, in my personal opinion. All right, so what am I going to plant today? I have several kinds of garlic to plant. 3 are hardneck varieties, and those are Northern White. Something new for me is called Georgia Fire. I got that at the Virginia Garlic Festival. And I have Music Garlic. Now, Northern White did really well for me last year. I've already planted some down in my lower garden. Music usually does well for me. I planted some of that down in my lower garden. But the Georgia Fire is new for me, so we'll see how that does. But it's really nice bulbs, so we'll see how they do. Another new variety, I have 3 soft neck varieties. One is Red Toque. That's new for me. Enchilium Red, which I planted last year and the year before, and Lortz Italian. I have already planted some Lortz Italian down in my lower garden. So I am going to go ahead and get these planted in my main garlic bed, and we'll always look forward to seeing how they do. One of the very first things that I do when I plant my garlic is I like to make sure that I have everything well marked. It doesn't really matter if you plant your hardnecks and your softnecks together, but I'm going to do one thing this year, and that is I'm going to put my hardnecks so that I can easily reach them. So I'm going to go ahead and start my music here. I'm going to pull this all the way over to the edge. I don't want to waste any of my bed space at all. You want to break your cloves apart and leave the wrapper on. With hardneck, it's easy because you can just pull off the big stem pull that out like that and break them apart. I thought this was 2 cloves, but it's just one really nice clove for planting. That's what I got for the first one. I'm going to plant these about 3 to 4 inches apart. First, I'm just going to place them. You want to put them pointy end up. Any clove that looks smushy, isn't that a technical gardening word, or has lost its covering, you want to leave the covering on there. Just discard. Once I've got these placed, I am now going to plant them about 2 to 3 inches deep. They are about 4 inches apart, and the rows are about 6 inches apart. All right, so before I plant these, I counted just to make sure what I have, because I like to keep some records. And I have got them well labeled, which is very important. So to plant these, super simple. Just like I did before, you're going to dig down, like loosen up the soil. I'm going to loosen it up about 2 inches deep. These are going to get well mulched on top. And we're just going to plop them in the ground. It's super easy to plant. The ground is quite warm. We've had a lot, and well, it's warm, but we have had a freeze, but it hasn't frozen the ground over yet. What's worse is we just haven't had the proper rain that we need. So I am going to go ahead, after I plant these, I'm going to go ahead and give them a good watering in, and then I'm going to cover them, mulch them down really well. They will likely sprout sooner rather than later. And that's just fine. Garlic is hardy. It'll get beaten up during the winter, but it won't die. And then in springtime, when the light comes back and it starts warming up, it'll come back with a rip roar. The last thing I'm going to do is just give this a good soaking in, because we have not had rain in a while and this ground is very dry. So I'm just going to go ahead and soak this in. I'm just going to put the mulch back on. This is a good hay mulch. I'm going to load it up. I don't have enough right here, but I will be going down and getting some more from my supply. So I've got my garlic planted. This is my main garlic batch. And I'm just going to go and get some more hay to continue to mulch over top of this. And that's all you really have to do. You will definitely notice that the garlic will sprout, especially here. It's been so, we've had crazy weather. We've had very cold, like it's gotten down to 24. And we've also had it up to 84. Today it's like 72 degrees this afternoon. It's just yo-yo weather. Garlic doesn't really care. As long as garlic gets planted, it'll start establishing its roots. It'll take a beating in the cold in the winter. It'll look horrible. You'll worry that you're killing it. I just keep it well mulched. And in the spring, miraculously, it just starts to take off again. And then it'll be ready to harvest around the solstice time, at least in my area. So thanks so much for watching me work on this, clearing out this garlic bed, cleaning out the flowers, and planting the new garlic. And I will continue to show you what I'm doing back in this back area to kind of formalize it and make it a little bit easier to manage, particularly with mowing. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you're well. Take care. Bye.